Well, hello everyone, Philosopher Stoner 666 here. I've decided I'm not changing my name after all. I'm just going to stick with it. I have opened a Bitchute account. Ta-da! I know, whoopee shit, right? A link for it is in the description. Basically, you just go to bitchute.com and you search my name, the same name that I have on YouTube, Philosopher Stoner 666. And you'll find me. I'm only going to be posting this video. From now on, I will post videos on my YouTube channel and Bitchute, but eventually I'm going to stop posting videos on YouTube. That'll probably be in a year or so. I'm also going to eventually, when I work up the effort from my depression, I'm going to open an account on DLive. But DLive is really meant for streaming live, and I don't really stream live. So Bitchute will suffice for now. So anyways, yeah, go find me. Links are in the description and all that junk. So yeah, so that's my new Bitchute channel. Anyways, I wanted to talk briefly about a subject that's become kind of irritating to me in the antinatalism and ephilism boards. And it's something that I've made, well, it's two issues, but I've made a post about it. And I've discussed it with a couple of people. And it's these people, like the nihilists. Although they're anti-natalist, they're still echoing the nihilist rhetoric that life is meaningless. Now, like, life is meaningless in the sense of your own personal ego and all the little, you know, triumphs and tribulations of your own life, the actual Shakespeare experience of your life, the little tale story is largely irrelevant, and in the grand scheme of things can seem to your ego to be meaningless, but life is not meaningless. Life is not meaningful in a very egotistically grandiose sense of meaning. Life, to put it very simply and echoing the words of Emendum, life is a value equation. So what do I mean by that? Well, very simply, life is a value equation. So there are positive and negative states. Consciousness exists and creates this idea of value. There is a difference between eating a piece of chocolate cake and getting stabbed violently in the eye with a knife. And if you deny that, you're kind of crazy. So there are positive and negative states. Well, there are bad states and less bad states, but I won't F around with the semantics too much. It's this notion there's an idea of value. Right? And we prove it, we demonstrate it every day when we transact in the form of money. Now, again, you can get into a debate on what is money. You can talk about, okay, fractional reserve banking, the Federal Reserve System, the fact that money is not really linked to a tangible thing anymore. It's based off of like phony concepts like credit and real estate and stuff. And you can get in all to debates about money. But that's not the point. The point is we transact every day. So life is full of burdens, right? So like I work a shitty job. I don't feel like cooking dinner. I go use some of my money and I go buy some fast food or something. There's a value exchanged in there. A transaction occurs. This is fundamentally important. Once you realize these things, life isn't meaningless. It's meaningful in a very particular sense, in a very present, continuous sense. Like the past 500 years ago isn't really relevant too much today in terms of, instead, like, okay, it's relevant in a sense that we learn stuff from history, right? But it's not relevant in a very immediate sense. The fact that, you know, a little less than 100 years ago, say 60, 80 years ago, people were suffering and dying in the Holocaust. Yes, it's horrible. We have to learn from it, but it's not suffering that's strictly relevant. Suffering that is occurring in the now is relevant. So anyways, all these people that say life is meaningless, it's a way of deflecting. It's a way of negating any kind of responsibility that we have. Oh, it's meaningless. Oh, okay, yay, it's meaningless. Oh, we don't have to do anything about it. We don't have to try and argue an argument or protest or, you know, say something to object to this thing called life that's, again, full of suffering. And there's other arguments to antinatalism. That's not the point of this video. It's, like I said, it's a way of deflecting. It's a way of not having any responsibility for it. And it, you know, it can be a very, when you say life is meaningless, it can be very liberating because, yeah, I don't have to do anything. It's meaningless. When no, it's very meaningful, and it's, you know, you want to make it seem as if stuff that's going on in the here and the now is irrelevant. No, it's relevant in the sense it's a value equation. There are good sensations and bad sensations. There are good states of being and negative states of being, and that is relevant. The fact that suffering exists and is happening in the here and the now is very relevant. The fact that there are, children dying of cancer and people being blown up in wars and people, dying of malnutrition and hunger, and the forests are burning in Australia and they're burning in the Amazon and they're burning in California. It's all very relevant in the here and now. Excuse me, I can't even speak. But if your house is burning down, it's not meaningless, right? It's your fucking house. It's what you live in. And if you deny that, yes, I'd say there's something mentally wrong with you. You're mentally deficient in some way. The house is metaphorically burning down for sentient consciousness currently in existence now. It is the Titanic. The ship is sinking. And it's relevant. If you're on the fucking Titanic and it's sinking, you got your balls in a vice. What are you going to do? And the points that, again, the second point that most people miss is this distinction of consciousness. I've talked before about how there's the notion everything is everything, and Thomas Ligotti phrases it in the sense everybody is nobody. It's the sense in both of those, as I take it, is that we're all sort of the same consciousness in a weird sort of way, even though we're separate entities. We're sharing very similar experiences. I mean, we're all different in the sense that all snowflakes are different, but they're all snowflakes, but they're all the same category of snow. And their experiences differ. Like, there's the little stupid bullshit, like what side of the plate you like your beans and potatoes on and where you like to put the meat on the plate, and all your little peculiarities, like your favorite color and, what you like to wear, and, how you like to, get your hair cut, and all stupid little bullshit like that defines your consciousness. But fundamentally, we're all experiencing the same thing here. So it's again, even more relevant in the sense that it's all the same. And in the future, I will die, William, philosopher, stoner, dude, won't exist in the future. In 100 years from now, I'll be dead. But somebody like me will be born again and have to endure this crap. We'll come to the same rude realizations. They won't be William, philosopher, stoner. They'll be somebody else. They'll be, they'll be Susie or Bob. And we'll have, like, similar peculiarities. Well, like I said, we'll like maybe the same color. We'll like, dressing similar. It won't be the same. It won't be identical. In much the same way that you may not be, you are maybe 1 in a million. You are 1 in a million, but you're not 1 in a billion. There's somebody basically almost not 100%, but 95% like you out there in the world right now. And I know it, I myself, I've encountered people that are very similar to me. Maybe 2 people in my life where we had the same, we can dissect it and break it down. Okay, he's a Myers-Briggs test, INTJ type, or like his eye color is blue, skin white, all that sort of crap. And the thing is, we're experiencing fundamentally the same phenomenon. Although, again, the perspectives on life are vast and varied, right? But fundamentally, the conscious experience is fundamentally the same. So it will be continually dragged into this mess, as I said, the metaphorical house of existence that's burning down, the metaphorical Titanic of life where the ship is sinking again and again, and someone like me, although they won't be me personally, will have to come here again and endure it. So not only is life not meaningless, a kind of crime is being committed here. It is a crime in the sense that it is wasted suffering. It's not suffering that accomplishes anything. It doesn't build character. That which doesn't kill you only makes you stronger is basically bullshit. It'll basically eventually break you. You will eventually get broken. You will fall to pieces and be thrown down the chute into the cremation pit. Life will eventually fuck you up, and we have to take a certain responsibility for that. So yes, it is a highly relevant phenomenon that is occurring here on planet Earth right here and right now. That's all I wanted to say. And again, I'm sort of oversimplifying the arguments, and they've been made dozens of times by other people. But I get annoyed when I hear fucking anti-natalists saying this, oh, it's all meaningless. And again, I just take that as a way, well, you don't have to do anything about it. You don't have to make a video. You don't have to post on Facebook. You don't have to argue with people that you know and be more vocal about your views. Because it's meaningless. And it's crap. And I'd say that this philosophical conversation about the meaning of life and this sense of value equation is very important. And most people, even the converted people, even the people not having kids, just don't seem to get it. They just want to live out their own life and amuse themselves and hopefully they get to the end of the line relatively unscathed. And that's really all we're hoping for, right? To make it through this thing of life. But I think we need to do a little bit more than that, than simply make it through it. If you want to just make it through, then yeah, just go be a nihilist. Go fucking snort cocaine and fuck hookers and, you know, go carry on. As long as you don't have kids, I mean, hey, okay. But really what you're saying if you do that is you're just sort of saying, well, you're a bad soldier. You can't fight the war. And it's totally, like, I'm not totally judgmental. Like, I myself have suffered with this. I suffer with depression and other Asperger's syndrome and other things where it really does affect my motivation. Even to make a video like this is difficult for me. But I think I've persuaded maybe a dozen people in my life to not have kids, people that I've met and known. I've sort of told them, well, maybe really reevaluate thinking about having kids. And, you know, I gained some comfort from that. So, like I said, things are very meaningful. Things are very relevant. You should have the conversation. You should really think about what you're doing before you have a kid, before you drag them into this life thing, and really think about it. And like I said, it's relevant, it's meaningful, it's important. It's the most important thing in existence. It's consciousness, for fuck's sakes. It's the thing creating the value. It is the most important thing. It is the most relevant thing. There's nothing else that is relevant. All the rest of it is irrelevant. Now, that doesn't mean I wouldn't say that life, you know, like I said, life is full of suffering. Life is pointless and life is futile, but it ain't meaningless. Anyways, that's all I sort of wanted to get across. Like I said, go check me out on Bitchute. I'm going to be posting this video on Bitchute. And, yeah, Philosopher Stoner 666 out.